A Trump official was just asked the simplest economics question of all time. Who pays the tariffs? And somehow he couldn't or wouldn't answer it. Watch a grown man fold like a lawn chair rather than admit the obvious truth. You pay the tariffs and I pay the tariffs, and companies that depend on imported goods pay the tariffs. This is Congressman Mark Pocan, a Democrat, questioning Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. And Bessent refuses to say Americans pay the tariffs. Tariffs have been really Trump's only policy. And he loves to talk about slapping tariffs on foreign goods, especially from China, as if he's punishing people overseas. But the dirty little secret that he never mentions is that tariffs are taxes that you pay and that I pay. And even Trump's own Treasury Secretary won't say it out loud. So check this out. It does get a little painful to listen to, and you'll see Bessent start glitching badly.
So my concern is on the tariffs. Who pays tariffs, Mr. Secretary? No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
His mic was off, so that's why you couldn't hear him in the media.
Sorry? Well,
who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
he wants to answer other questions.
Well, Congressman, if the exporters, they dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer. I'm not going to waste my time having you go, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman, I asked reclaiming my time.
Tariffs.
Mr. Chairman.
This is not a trick question, mind you. Not at all.
And I asked to reclaim my time. Did I not? No, I said reclaiming my time because he's clearly not answering it. So, yeah, so as a small business owner, and unfortunately I like that time back since you failed to recognize me for 30 seconds. So I just recently from one of my suppliers got the tariff surcharge on things. And in addition to the tariff surcharge, guess what else got raised? American-made walnut plaques. That has nothing to do with tariffs, but companies take advantage and do that. So right now, we are getting screwed right and left because of the indiscriminate use of tariffs. That's the reality for Main Street. And you go off to Beverly Hills for private investor conferences and talk about crazy Ivan theories. Answer that. What is the crazy Ivan theory of tariffs that you mentioned at the summit?
Well, first of all, sir, I've had meetings with more than 50 small lenders. So I want to clarify that. I would also say that in game theory, strategic uncertainty, of which you seem to like the name Crazy Ivan.
Well, it's your words.
Understand what they're talking about, strategic uncertainty. What Scott Bessent is trying to defend is that Trump is so nuts that he's unpredictable, and this can be a game theory advantage. In game theory, which is a division, a sort of subspecialty in economics, a very interesting one, by the way, there's an idea that the unpredictability of a player can encourage beneficial behavior from other players beneficial to that one who is unpredictable. In other words, if I am the unpredictable one, where others can't reasonably assess how I'm likely to behave, that benefits me because they now have to act in a world with uncertainty based on my behavior. The problem is that lack of predictability in this environment is just bad for the American economy. And we've talked endlessly about the reasons why. Let's watch just a little bit more of this.
Correct. Didn't you use Crazy Ivan at the...
Well, you've used it 5 times. And
answer the question, Mr. Chairman.
I am saying the strategic uncertainty is part of negotiations. That should we say, here's what we'll accept. Please take this.
Okay, I've got your answer. Thank you. I'm going to reclaim my time again. So for a small business, we don't have that luxury, right? When the ports are empty in California and we can't get goods and people are stocking up for Christmas goods, Crazy Ivan is great for please don't take this offense, really rich people like you, but for people like me, it's not, right? That's what makes small businesses fail.
So listen, we didn't get any really good answers, and we never got a direct answer from Scott Bessent about who pays the tariffs, but the answer is that the American consumer pays the tariffs. That's it. The tariff gets added on top of the price, and you pay it at the store. And alleged economic expert Scott Bessent refuses to say it. Now, it's not because he doesn't know it. It's because he needs to remain loyal to Trump. And the entire Trump economic narrative depends on a lie. It's that we win a trade war when we impose tariffs. But in reality, we're just taxing ourselves. It's a self-imposed tax. It's economic self-harm wrapped in a flag where you're going to suffer for the flag, but it's all going to be worth it. And remember from Trump's first term that he would regularly brag, China paid us $1 billion in tariffs. U.S. importers paid those tariffs. And those tariffs were then passed on to consumers. So you paid those tariffs, and I paid those tariffs. Companies, businesses, the cost gets passed on to individuals. Prices went up, inflation ticked up, farmers got crushed, they had to bail out farmers, and Trump's promising more of that. So Scott Bessent knows the answer. He just can't say the answer because it would blow up the whole premise of Trump's policy. That's why he melts down. That's why he stalls and stammers and spins fairy tale nonsense about long-term market adjustments. Now, I have no interest in hiding from you that in the long run, manufacturers might try to cut costs and find new supply chains or sell less stuff. In the very long term, that can happen. A lot of these supply chains are like a decade to really shift around. In the short to medium term, the part that matters to your wallet, you pay more. It's that simple. And Scott Bessent can't say it, just like just like Pam Bondi was saying, we might send some people to Alcatraz, prisoners. No, you're not. She can't say the truth, which is we're never going to get it up and running in 3 years. It's ridiculous. Bessent also can't admit the truth because he wouldn't be performing correctly for the cult leader. And that's what this is all about. On the bonus show today, the Catholic community is reacting to the AI images that Trump posted of himself as the Pope. What do they think? Kristi Noem says that travelers without a real ID are still going to be allowed to fly. But how will that work? I'll explain it. And we will also look a little more deeply at oil prices. Why are oil prices falling? What does it mean for the economy? What does it mean for gas prices? And what's the context in which this is all happening? So all of those stories and more on today's bonus show. Get instant access to the bonus show by signing up at joinpacman.com. And remember that if you prefer to listen to the show, if you're at the gym, if you're in the car, if you're going for a walk, rather than the video clips on TikTok and YouTube and elsewhere, you can get our daily hour podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere that podcasts are available. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a rating for the podcast if you would be so kind. So I'll see you on the bonus show. We'll be back with a new show tomorrow. It can be really challenging to find the right learning opportunities for your kids, whether they need extra support or enrichment beyond the classroom or just something fun and engaging to get more interested. You can check out Outschool. Our sponsor, Outschool, is an online learning platform for kids aged 3 to 18 with small group live classes and one-on-one tutoring, on-demand courses on thousands of topics. I'm a parent, and as someone who's always looking for more opportunities for my daughter to learn in new and valuable ways, I think what Outschool is doing is fantastic, something any child could benefit from. Whether your kid likes science, art, coding, music, niche interests like mythology or chess, Outschool has it all. And what sets Outschool apart is really the flexibility and personalization. Kids get to learn on their own terms with passionate, expert educators, many of whom hold advanced degrees in what they're teaching. Over 1 million learners have taken Outschool courses, and parents online rave about the experience. If you want to try Outschool, get up to $20 off your child's first class or tutoring session for a limited time when you go to outschool.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is in the description.